I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I think.
I don't know. It could be a fucking disaster. I'm so excited. Welcome to Tattoo Tabletop. My name is James, and today, as you can see, I have a special guest. This is my sister.
Yes.
Yes, it's true. Confirmed relations. See, if we sit next to each other and smile, you can see it, right? You can see. You can't
I don't
see
think we
it.
look anything alike.
Really? I think we look really alike.
Maybe we do. Okay.
Maybe.
Oh.
Anyway, this is the new segment that I'm doing called Find Your Faction. Basically where I'm taking people, putting them in the chair, and they're people who know nothing of Warhammer. All they know is that when I come up and I start talking about Warhammer, they know to walk away from me as soon as possible so that they don't get subjected to the next hour of me explaining things. But, Katie.
Yes.
Do you think you're going to be intrigued? Do you think you're going to find something like interesting, or you're going to be like, holy crap?
I think so. I've listened to you talk about it enough now where, I mean, like the books and the stories behind it and stuff like that. Like I have a fair amount of interest in like fantasy and stuff like that, so I think I'll be able to find something.
I think, you know what? I think we'll find something today. So, we're going to just basically, the way this is going to work, I'm just going to ask some relatively formatted questions. If I had a script, that'd be a really smart idea, but I don't. So, we're just going to ask some questions, make our way through the Warhammer website. You'll see some models, you'll be able to get some explanations of what things are, because obviously we like lore. You gotta keep it RP, role-playing. And we'll see if we can find something. So, first and foremost, what do you prefer? Fantasy, sci-fi, i.e., Lord of the Rings, or like Star Wars?
No, much more Lord of the Rings.
Much more Lord of the Rings, much more fantasy? All
yeah,
right.
I would be much more that.
There are 4 grand alliances in Age of Sigmar. These are basically just the separations. These aren't the entirety of the factions, but these are how they divide themselves up. So, you have Order.
Okay.
Quote-unquote, good guys.
Got it.
No one's good. Death.
Interesting.
Chaos. And destruction. It's kind of like describing probably a house with many children in it.
This is my life.
This is my life.
Only minus the order.
I try to
Death, chaos, destruction.
I try to establish order, but then there is chaos and destruction.
And then I go hide in a closet.
So, which of those do you feel drawn?
Ooh, Chaos.
Chaos?
Let's do Chaos.
Alright, so let's open up Chaos. So, here are our factions. So, obviously, Chaos are looking to despoil the realms, destroy everything. And these are the factions. Of these names, which one draws your eye?
Well, is it Skaven? Is that how you say that?
This is going to be a great clip. It is Skaven.
Skaven!
Skaven! Well, let's take a look at Skaven.
Can I mispronounce everything and then you'll put it in there and be like, the correct pronunciation
The correct pronunciation, yeah, because everyone loves that guy.
Super nerd.
Alright, so here's Skaven. So obviously our little video is going to block a little bit of this, but Skaven are kind of one of the major big bads. They are actually the reason the old world blew up. They're actually getting a range refresh, so I will, maybe I'll pull up a separate video or a separate picture of like some of the newer models, but the best way to probably describe them is just skittering crackheads.
Guys.
Pretty much Skaven are always trying to achieve or trying to gather this resource called Warpstone that just appears in the realms, but they're like, again, they just like swarm in hordes. They're very cowardly. They like backstab each other constantly, and the entirety of the time their god that they worship is called the Great Horned Rat.
These guys sound like losers.
They lose often. However, they're a big focus for the newest edition of Age of Sigmar because they're, like I said, their entire range got refreshed. Like, some of these models are severely old.
Oh.
But some are like newer, like the Death Masters, a little bit newer. The Gnaw-Holes came not too long ago. And it's kind of like some fun little gameplay. They have the Doom Wheel.
Ooh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, they have a lot of like cool ideas. But yeah, so that's what they're all about, and they're big focus for the Age of Sigmar because they just enacted what's called the Vermin Doom. Pretty much, they were hiding from the realms for forever, and they just burst through the surface outside of all major settlements, and they're just flooding out now.
Okay, then.
So there's billions upon billions of them. You can find it. Skaventide. That's the word. That's the word I was looking for. Not much of a closer picture, but close enough. So they redid everything. They got like a new creepy lord there. They got a rattling gun. Of course, lots of clan rats. But, okay. So, let's get to the real question. Is this your faction?
I don't think so.
Don't think so?
No.
You don't want weird, chaotic.
They're a little,
A little too creepy?
I don't know about creepy, but they're not.
They're not hitting. They're not.
No.
Yeah, okay.
It's not my jam.
So, are we still thinking did any other names in the Chaos faction?
Let's look at the blades.
The Blades of Khorne?
Yeah, the Blades of Khorne.
Excellent choice. Blades of Khorne. These guys, spoiler alert, serve the Chaos God Khorne. 4 Chaos Gods primarily.
Yep.
It is Khorne.
Yep.
God of essentially violence and blood. And then there's Tzeentch.
Okay.
Changer. You know people who like ruin your plans just last minute?
Yes.
That's Tzeentch.
Okay.
Slaanesh. She's a horny god.
Great.
Yeah, the claws, tentacles, it's all weird. Nurgle, we had Nurgle for 2 years. That was COVID. Got it. Nurgle is a god of disease and decay and rot. Khorne, again, god of violence. He's the blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne. So these are these guys. So some of these guys are mortal followers of Khorne, basically humans who just want to murder people all the time. Don't we all when we're in traffic?
Great.
And then of course there's demons like flesh hounds. There's like the skull taker, bloodletters. They always have their tongue hanging out and they're just like blood. I actually really like the Blades of Khorne. They've been on my list for a while. I actually have models of their 40k counterparts, known as the World Eaters.
Oh,
because nom. You can see lots of they all work out. Khorne does not skip leg day or chest day.
Does not skip leg day.
No, yeah. Look at those packs.
That's really intense.
It is. They are here to bench.
Awesome.
Bodies.
Awesome. Gym rats.
Gym rats, but not rats.
But not rats, because they're not that. That's a different.
That is the Skaven.
Yeah.
Yeah, they listen to Real Big Fish. This is really great caffeine. These are the Blades of Khorne. Do you think this?
No.
Alright.
I think we need to go to order.
Order. Here is a list of order factions. Obviously, just a few more. There's people, and they are, like I said, Order is the quote-unquote good guys.
Yeah, but they're not. Nobody's good.
Nobody's really good. Any of the names popping out from here.
What are the Daughters of Cain?
Daughters of Cain. They are a fun elf faction. Basically, they serve the god Cain.
Okay.
Or, air quotes, because technically they serve Marathi, who Marathi is another, we'll scroll and we'll see her. They also really love murder. Cain is the god of murder. But there's kind of a sub-faction that just came out. This is a newer model, Cthulhu, the Crone Seer, just to kind of get a closer look at her. So she actually blinded herself when she put on this crown, because there's another elder elf god that's like speaking to her through the crown.
Got it.
But she kind of opposes Marathi and her group, but she's still, quote unquote, a daughter of Cain. They have gone through some transformations. These are they're aptly named bow snakes.
Yeah.
Melusai Bloodstalkers. Basically, they also love murder. They do. They don't serve Khorne or anything like that, but they serve this lady, Marathi, who ascended to godhood.
This gal. Yeah,
she was a figure in the old world, and then she made her way over, and now she's that. Fantastic model.
A little bit Medusa-y with wings.
Very, very Medusa-y.
We're getting closer.
We're
getting closer. I'm liking this. I'm liking this one.
Liking this one more. The aesthetic.
Yeah, the aesthetic. I'm very visual.
Yes.
So I like the elves. I like these models are cool.
You kind of like
looking.
Yeah.
So getting closer. Yeah, this one's my favorite so far that I've seen.
Stay in the elves then. So
I think elves are my
Allow me to throw out a recommendation.
Okay.
So we'll hop out. So there's 2 other primary elf factions. Okay. There's the Eineth Deepkin.
Okay.
And there's the Sylvaneth.
Okay.
And actually there's the Luminous Lords. So Eineth Deepkin. This is a faction I have. These are sea elves.
Those are sweet.
They are.
I already really like those models.
They only came about as of Age of Sigmar. They didn't exist before. But basically, what happened is when the world ended, the goddess, the Slaaneshi goddess, Slaanesh. I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
There'll be comments on how
there will be something. Pronounce it correct, but calling Slaanesh the Slaaneshi goddess reductive. But basically, Slaanesh consumed all the elf souls at the end of the world, essentially. And basically what happened is the god Teclis, who ascended to godhood, he was just a normal elf, and he ascended to godhood. He eventually trapped and bound Slaanesh so that she couldn't go anywhere. And then he removed the elf souls. So he removed them, and he tried to recreate the elf world again. He basically tried to bring elves back into existence. His first attempt are these guys, the Igneth Deepkin. Because what happened was they came back into existence. However, they still remembered their time in Slaanesh, so they're just traumatized. PTSD out the ears. They are damaged. And also, some of them came out like this. These are the Namardi.
Oh, wow.
Basically, the Namardi are blind. Completely blind. However, this is what separates the Igneth Deepkin. Is basically, so, and this guy's an Akelian, which means he's full of life. He has a soul, fully soul. But all of them are born without souls, so what they do is they take souls from other people. They take them from anywhere they can get them. There is a model soul render there. Basically, they cast this sort of mist. Their spellcasters create this sort of mist so that they can actually fly onto land. And they kill however many people. They take their souls because they have to put them in their newborns. Otherwise, they don't come out without, they come out without a soul and they eventually wither and die. So they do that, and then what happens is that mist actually also makes it so that people forget. So whenever they raid a village and they kill the people, take the souls, and they head back, the people that are left behind don't even remember those people existed. As far as they're considered, that house has been empty as long as they've known it.
Got it.
So that's kind of their little crux again. They have the giant sea turtle.
That's super cool.
I call mine Yurtle because it's Yurtle, but more exotic. Yurtle.
Very fancy.
All of these guys live underwater
at
all times, and one of them has their entire city built on a giant world turtle. It's dope.
I mean, I'm a swimmer, so
yes, this
is my I connect with these people. Minus the whole stealing people's souls and things. Like, I mean,
don't knock it till you try it. I haven't tried it yet, but I have a feeling I'd get pretty hooked. Hopefully, they're gonna get some expansions. I love
that's a pretty cool
the
one.
Alapexes, like they ride sharks. There's so much cool stuff. Their deep mares are dope.
Yeah, those are cool. There's one down at the bottom that was really neat. That one with the wave.
Oh,
what's
yes.
That?
This is the aspect of Mathland. They're sea god, an elven sea god. But yeah, basically, there's two variations of it. One being a spellcaster and one being more of a fighter. But yeah, I mean, this model is nothing but just pure drip, literally and figuratively.
And you have the ship.
I do have the ship.
The ship's up there.
The ship's up there, and I have another ship because you can summon another ship. Okay, so Igneth, that one we're feeling pretty strong about.
I like that one. Now show me the other one that you're...
Okay, so Luminelf Realm Lords is the next one. This is the newest elf faction. Basically, this is Teclis. This is him, Archmage Teclis. This is floating up there, right next to his Sphinx monster. Luminelf Realm Lords, I'm going to be honest, I don't know as much about, but basically... This was Teclis actually succeeding in what he wanted to do, which was recreating elf society. They're also a very cool faction.
That's a cool one.
Yeah, they had. This is like one of their terrain pieces. Is the Luminor.
That's really cool.
It's really cool when you go to GT or an RTT and you see
you get to see
painted
them.
up really nice.
Yeah, that
they're
cool.
really great, and like the art, like a lot of the armor is just really cool. Like there's even little inlays in there. It is bonkers. Teclis managed to succeed in bringing elves back successfully without giving them PTSD. And yeah, this is a really fun and interesting faction as well. They're a lovely, happy, probably more well-adjusted group of individuals than probably all of us. But the last one, just for coverage, I've showed you this one.
You've showed me this one?
Not this faction.
Okay.
But you know a model from it. Sylvaneth. These are the tree people.
Done!
So
I choose this one.
I showed you.
This is mine.
This is my faction.
This is my. I love these models. They're super. Well, and I should just be picking them for the models.
Yeah.
Do you do that? Do people just pick them for the models?
Some people do.
Yeah.
I mean that's part of it. Is when it comes to finding your faction,
you have to like.
You kind of have to like a lot of components of them.
Yeah.
Like I am drawn in by the models, but I'm really drawn into the story.
Yeah.
Let's get into Sylvaneth. So Sylvaneth, they were formerly wood elves. Aptly named.
Got it.
They were a mortal race that existed before. You know, they took care of the World Tree, their god Orion, the whole 9 yards, and of course Alariel. But basically, the thing that's kind of shifted with them is they're a lot less mortal, a lot more spirit. So she's kind of taken a lot of the wood elf souls and put them into trees, into spites. So like here's kind of like one of the Vanguard boxes. So these are Kurnothi hunters. They're kind of elevated versions of them, and then there's these little sprites, or the revenants, I believe is what they should be called. And so that you kind of see their little spirits kind of coming out of trees.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, they have a really cool aesthetic to them as well. They have obviously very nature based.
Yeah.
They have their giant Durthu, like their Durthu, and their I can't remember the normal name of these guys because I'm spacing and this caffeine is hitting. It's turbo time. Ents. They're like ants from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, those are cool.
But they're a lot scarier. I really love the Kurnoth Hunters.
That's
I
really
think they're
neat.
really cool. Not to mention, they're very easy to paint. Because you just prime them black, do a zenithal, dry brush, and then use contrast paint, and you're pretty good.
And you could do some like pretty cool things. I feel with all of these models, but like from the artist brain in me is like, ooh, like with the colors and stuff. Like those ones are really cool.
Some variation, but there are some people who have done some really bonkers. There's someone in our own local community who did like the tree thing, but then he put cherry blossoms.
Ah, that's
on
bad.
All the
That's cool.
Gossamet archers are really cool.
Oh yeah, those are
like
cool.
They kind of have like the dragonfly like
wings and stuff.
And again, they don't have a tactical rock. They have tactical branches
Because
that's how they get their dynamic poses. Tactically rock locking. I'm having a strong. Do you smell burnt toast? War song reference, really cool. Just gonna.
Is there smoke coming out of their ears?
I think so. This is
dear.
Oh god, what did I do?
No.
All right, this is great. So they summon trees and everything. I really like the Kurnoth. Not to mention they are just beef.
Those guys are cool. What are those?
These guys?
Yeah. Oh, spells.
Those are their endless spells. So these
That's
are
cool.
Again. I'm a sucker for faction endless spell. Adds nice flavor to the faction and just kind of gives them like a little enhancement. It's a small thing, but it's really cool. Like I love that it's just like rooted.
Yeah, that's super.
Like imagine the Lorax was just like, I am sick of these goddamn buildings. Get them out.
And there you
go.
And
then there you go. And that's Sylvaneth. All right. Do you think that is the faction?
Yeah, I really like that one.
All right. Do you want to see any others just for pure curiosity? Maybe check one out of Death and one out of Destruction?
Yeah, let's just look at the other ones.
Complete the gambit. All right. Here's the Death. Whoa. Pick one out of the Death. Death.
Let's do the Night Haunt.
Night Haunt. The Night Haunt are spookies.
Oh, yeah.
They are all ghost boys. Come from all different places. This is basically Nagash's kind of shock troops. Because he just sends in ghosts. They are literally just all ghosts.
Those are cool models, too.
They do have some really cool designs.
I dig those. Like, that coach is really
The black coach is actually an older model, and it is a classic.
That's really cool.
It is the casket and everything there. I really hope the rules for that get better so that people run them, because they are super cool.
Yeah, those are cool.
But yeah, their whole gameplay and like Lady Olinder.
Ooh, that's a cool thing too.
Yeah, so each one of these death factions has a Mortarch, and a Mortarch is essentially a leader of the faction because they all serve the death god Nagash, who's his own thing. But he appoints Mortarchs for each individual faction, or in the case of vampires, there's a couple for their individual factions. But yeah, all spooky people. And this is
Nagash,
the big bone boy himself. Nagash, god of death.
Wow.
I think he's still currently getting reformed.
Oh.
He got his cheeks clapped really hard by Teclis. That is the Night Haunt of the Death. Do you think this would appeal to you?
I mean, yeah, the models and stuff are really cool.
I really like the Death faction because I'm edgy.
You're edgy.
I listen to emo music.
So do I.
Yeah, put on some Smile Empty Soul and paint some Bone Boys. Yes, I really like them. The Soulblight Grave Lords are one of my favorites.
I was going to ask about that one next.
Yes, they are actually the vampires. I love the vampires. These are actually some of my favorite models. The Eskurgan Trueblades. They are essentially just vampire monks.
Oh, yeah.
They specifically don't feed off of human blood. So you'd think that they'd be good people, but they're not. Because one of their tests for other vampires to join the Eskurgan Trueblades is they essentially bloodlet somebody, put them in a room with other vampires, and then the other vampires have to resist feeding on their blood. So they just bleed out, and watch these people just like scratch their arms like, boy, could go for a drop right now. But they're really
Sounds awesome.
They are awesome.
Sign me up.
I love them. They're great. Olga, or Evia Olga, she's really cool.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Basically, any of their armies are raised up from the dead.
Okay.
They raise up zombies, skeletons. This is also one of my favorites, Radikar the Beast. He's a character that they just created recently. Small board game, Cursed City. That just scratches all the itches for me. Werewolf, vampire.
Yeah.
Werewolf, vampire. And also, I always love the little details, like the little groveling vampires, and especially like the little blood drips.
Yeah,
like he's
that.
just filling up the chalice. I just love the aesthetic of that. Yeah, I think the standout model is probably Ben-Gurion Lord or Lokovai, which is a specific set of vampires that have just developed monstrous.
Yeah, that's pretty.
They're intense. They're intense.
Looks very intense.
Very intense. That was the lady that I believe your children called Snakebutt.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember Snake
I
Butt.
thought I could scare her children. It was like, look at these edgy miniatures, and they're like, ha, she's got a snake butt, snake butt, snake butt. And then, so I've been bullied by little girls ever since I was a little boy.
I was gonna say, me and Chris, and now my children bully you, so.
You know,
just trying to make you feel, we didn't want to,
give
you too much confidence.
We know I don't handle change well, so why change anything?
Let's just keep everything the same.
Alright, so we'll hop on to the last one. Destruction, very small list.
Super small. Let's see. Let's do Gloomspite.
Gloomspite gifts. Alright, so these are gobos.
Gosh, those guys are...
They are crazy.
Yeah.
Basically, they eat a lot of mushrooms. They go ham. This is Trug, the Troggoth King. He's one of the newest models. Basically...
That's a pretty cool model.
It is, especially because he's got this happy little altar on him. Basically what happened is he went to sleep and got tired, and they built stuff on top of him, and then he just woke up recently.
Got it.
But they have like the Arachnarok spiders, they have the wolf riders. So goblins existed in the world before, but the Gloomspite Gits are a little bit different. They're kind of their own separate thing. And
oh yeah, those are very different.
They worship something called the Bad Moon. Which is
Bad Moon?
No,
I'm sorry, did you speak
moon.
incorrectly?
No, this isn't me smelling toast again. It's here's a good example. Here's the Loon Shrine.
Oh, okay.
They love the moon. The Bad Moon.
The Bad Moon.
No, the Bad Moon. You gotta say
Moon.
The Bad Moon. Slap the bass, big time.
That's what
the Bad Moon. The slap of the bass. This video's gonna be great. I hope this takes off. But yeah, they've got a very interesting aesthetic.
I like the colors of this one's kind of fun. A little bit.
That's where artists kind of have the most fun with them, is they ship up and change a lot of the like mushroom colors and stuff like that.
Yeah, because like you could get really fun with that.
Yeah, this is a guy that I actually have, and I use him for one of my other armies specifically, just because of his specific rules. The Rabble-Rouser.
The Wabba-Wazza.
The Wabble-Wazza.
Wabba-Wazza?
Did you hear?
What is wrong with these people? They can't talk.
Did you hear there's a waffle coming? But yeah, basically the Rabble-Rouser has a Rabble-Rouser. There is no R, just as you can see here.
Oh yeah, there's not.
Yes, they love squigs. They carry a lot of them, and that is the Gloomspite.
Sweet.
Gits. All right, so let's just do one addendum, and we'll wrap up here shortly because I feel like we have plenty. So, of the factions,
yes,
which one is yours?
I think Order.
Order.
Yep.
All right, and then you like the deep?
I like the tree people,
but we love the tree people.
I think that's my jam.
So
I did like the underwater people.
They are really cool. I hope they get some more models.
I think the tree people are my jam.
All right, so of these,
yep,
which model do you think you'd just love to paint up? Even just if you were just like weren't playing the game, just would love to paint up. Period.
Well, like the most challenging. Well, so that one is cool, like this one.
But
also the Everqueen would be really cool. That's the one we looked at before. That
is the one, yeah.
Okay, yeah, this one I feel like the colors you could do in this one with that beetle would be really cool.
There's a lot of people who've done some really cool conversions. He did with it.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's cool.
See, and that's what I would vibe with as well. I think he's on the same boat that I am, where I really miss the mortal aspects of like the wood elves to them.
Oh yeah, that looks really cool.
But of course, he also just goes ham with the extra basing and bit, and there's some really cool stuff for them.
You could do some really sweet things with that beetle.
Reflective translucent.
Yes, so I was just gonna say like the iridescent-y kind of stuff. Like that would be really cool.
So people will do like autumn schemes. They'll do like some of them do like dead winter schemes.
That's
like,
cool.
Trim off all the leaves.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of cool conversion abilities, and of course, Alaria.
Yep.
The bug lady.
That's cool.
Yeah, she's a really cool model. Maybe we'll attempt, but you will.
Yeah, I will. I mean,
Christmas is gonna be great this year. Mom, what did you get? Toys. Yes.
yes.
And maybe that'll be in the follow-up video because, believe it or not, she's an artist.
Yeah. I used to paint.
I used to
Back
paint.
in the day.
Used to draw. Used to be pretty good at it. And I used to disappoint my art teacher. So Sylvaneth is the faction. How, you know?
Yep.
How do you feel? You feel good in your decision. You feel
Yes.
confident.
Mhm.
Fantastic.
I do.
What do you think you would do for like the paint scheme? Would you kind of follow some of the box, or would you go off base?
I would go a little bit off. I feel like I'm not a. Well, it's hard because these are pictures on the internet, right? So
Of course, yeah. This is GW's how to paint this.
Right, exactly. So I feel like I would. Yeah, those.
Yeah, the Karnathi hunters.
Like I do like that. I'd use a little bit. Again, visual person, brighter colors, I think, but definitely like with the green and brown and stuff like that. Like play with that. But I do like working like the brighter colors in there. Like I think that works out really
Natural.
cool in those models. Like where the gradients, you can get like the gradients, and even in the blues and stuff and some of that stuff. But like play a little bit more to that.
Yeah.
I'm not really like the actual like bases and stuff would be fun to play with, like
there's a lot
the
of
ground.
there's
scale.
a lot of basing opportunities.
Yeah, like I think that would be because you're in it's forest or trees.
Yeah, I mean,
like, you could really do some cool stuff with that.
You know, I thought maybe I could pull the old switcheroo with the Agneth Needkin.
I do like that one though.
They are cool.
That's really cool. I do like that.
Elves always had a really cool aesthetic. Well, we did it.
We did it.
Folks, mission accomplished. We found perfection.
Yay.
So, again, if you like this content, feel free to like, share, and subscribe down there somewhere, wherever this is. Now I'm just keyboard cat. I should probably lie down. maybe take a nap. Until next time, I've been Tangent Tabletop. Go paint something.